Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
Oh. Test it. Maybe he's lying. How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Okay.
Well,
How dare you call it?
actually 5, because your whole hand is like up in the air. But
Yeah, actually 5.
that's something
That's
my son would have said. Be like, you little shit.
Josh outsmarted you there. Okay,
All right, let's go.
let's get this
Not the
started.
first time. It won't be the last time.
Welcome everybody to the Crossover. Today is Friday, January 31st, 2025. And do we have any card letter announcements? No?
If you want $15, you better pay right now, because I'm updating it after.
Oh, that's a hot tip.
Yeah.
That price is going up in 1 hour?
1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the
Eastern time.
By the time you listen to this podcast, the price for Card Ladder Pro will have raised.
Nice.
Yeah.
Buy your 1 hour or your 1 year.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So nothing on card later. Okay, how about mail days? Do you have any mail days? I have
Nope.
a mail day.
All right.
Here it is.
People still buy cards in this hobby?
Occasionally. So this is nothing crazy. It's the 2023 Donruss Elite Nikola Jokic Elite 1 of 1 parallel. There's only one 1 of 1 parallel, which makes this a 1 of 1 of 1. And it's not called a nebula, but it kind of looks like a nebula. And it's not called a vinyl or a finite, but it has a pattern finish that looks cool. But it's not quite the gold vinyl finish. It's similar, but it's a slightly different shape. So it's a finish that I've never seen before outside of these Elite cards. And in 2021 Donruss Elite, in football and basketball, they started with these like nebula-looking 1 of 1 parallels that are pretty cool. I was put onto that card by Mark Sweat47 and Totally Certified Die Cut, and they said they look great in person, and I happen to agree they do. They really do. So I guess, yeah, this is the 3rd year Jokic from that parallel set, so I'd love to find the first one or the first and the second.
How does the Elite product stand up against some of the other ones price-wise?
That was $800, which is kind of high for a Jokic.
What about like
Actually, I think I made $900. I offered $800.
The wax?
Oh, the wax? Good question. Let's see what that might go for. We can just like get David Adams' price on it real quick. Looks like David Adams wants $275 for the hobby bag. Oh, sorry, they're sold out. They're paying $275.
Oof. So $350.
Yeah, so eBay. I guess Burbank Sports Cars has one for $310. Here's another one for $360. Yeah.
If you hit a 1 of 1 of the best player in the NBA, you triple your money.
Yeah. I guess not a bad box price, right?
No. Yeah, compared to Prism, it's great.
Yeah. All right. Otherwise, let's get to the questions because we're keeping it to an hour tonight.
Luckily, nothing has happened in the hobby, so it'll just be.
Yeah.
First up, we have from What Are We Doing Here? Who is the biggest NBA All-Star snub?
I admittedly haven't looked at the rosters, but let me take a quick peek. What do you got?
Well, the league's leading rebounder per game and the league's leading assister per game. Is that it, right? The league's leading assist per game guy. Neither of them made the All-Star game, not even as reserve.
Sabonis and Halliburton?
Sabonis and Trae Young.
Oh, Trae Young Didn't make it?
Trae Young didn't make it.
He's having a good year.
LaMelo Ball didn't make it.
I feel like I would say Sabonis is the biggest because he only makes it when like people get injured, like every time.
I was gonna say Sabonis because I know Şengün made it over him, but Sabonis has way better numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people will come back and say, well, Şengün's team has like 10 more wins, but Sabonis is on-off is he has a net rating swing of like plus 14, and Şengün has a net rating swing of like plus 4, maybe even less. So impact metric-wise, Sabonis clears.
Harden, Jalen Williams. Yeah, they always do this thing where they want to have at least 2 guys from the 1 seed and 1 guy from the 2nd seed at least.
Right.
But I don't see any Grizzlies player. Oh, Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson is having a really nice year, according to the nerds on podcasts that I listen to.
I don't have any issues really. Maybe I guess Dame Lillard's got pretty good numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it honestly feels like there were a lot of snubs, but
that's just roster size then.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 24 All-Stars.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need to stop whining about how many people get snubbed. Just play better. Kenny Atkinson is the coach for the East.
Yeah.
Dagnall for the West. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just the 2, basically 40 and 10 teams.
Maybe Siakam? Are people whining about Siakam being on there?
I haven't heard anybody. I haven't heard anybody too upset about who made it.
And Jaylen Brown's efficiency stats aren't very good.
Except for Jaylen Brown, yeah.
Yeah, he's like really low on the efficiency stats on the last I looked.
Is there any chance there's a Boston bias in NBA media coverage?
No, not at all.
Well, Tatum's having a better year this year. I will give him that.
Yeah. Okay. In the Boston bias is a nice segue to our next topic, which comes from mostly 90s basketball cards, who says, "Can we get your reaction to Publius's pyramid?" So here is Publius's pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
In tier 1, he has Michael Jordan and LeBron James. In tier 2, he has Bill Russell by himself. Tier 3, Larry Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kareem. Tier 4A, Nikola Jokic, Magic Johnson, and Tim Duncan. Tier 4B, Wilt Chamberlain, Steph Curry, Jerry West.
5 and 6. What are we doing here?
How many people know who that is? Just wondering.
Well, why is there 4A and 4B? Did I miss that explanation?
Wait, is that Dolph Schayes?
That's Jerry West, bro.
Then tier 5 has Hakeem, Kevin Garnett, Giannis, Kobe, and Kawhi. Tier 6 has Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Dr. J, Dirk Nowitzki, the Big O, and David Robinson. And tier 7, is that supposed to be D Wade?
You saw a statue, right?
Looks better than a statue.
Yeah. All right. So what do we think about this list?
It's fine. I texted him that I thought KD was too low. I don't know why KD would be below Kawhi and Giannis and KG. And then I just don't really know what to say about Russell. Like, what am I supposed to say? He played in the 50s and 60s. What can I say? I never saw the guy play. I have no idea. He's playing against 10 other teams. It's hard to say.
Yeah. If you're among those who are lucky enough to follow Publius 13, look at his story posts tonight before they go away. I wish he would turn this into some sort of shareable documents because I really like the effort and the thought he put into it. But I think it's obviously Russell's too high. I think you just have to make the Boston adjustment and just take every Celtics player and move them down 1 tier, including Kevin Garnett.
No, because that would move Larry Bird down 1 tier. He would deserve to be moved down.
Yeah, Larry's the one guy. Like, my top 5 using the total MVP approach is MJ, LeBron, Durant, Magic, and Larry. So, that's my approach. And he was pretty close, but he's got Russell and Shaq up there.
You mean Kareem instead of Durant?
Oh, did I say Durant?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just scooped up a spider and carried it away.
You like Larry better than Magic historically, right? I can't remember where you stand on
No,
that.
I have Magic. I have Magic a step above because Magic has 6 total MVPs and Larry has 5.
Yeah, I mean, he put a lot of thought into it, had a lot of data to back up some of his stuff. Like when people are pointing out ones, he's got 16 slides of data. So whenever someone does that, it's hard for me to get too angry.
Yep.
Show your work. I'm happy.
Yeah. Respect the effort. And he also has about 20 slides trashing Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant.
This guy knows the key to my heart. Throw in some Dennis Rodman hate, and we got way more cooking.
About Scottie Pippen hate.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen's for you guys, Rodman's for me. Let's share.
Fair. Yeah. Not being greedy here. We all can hate our own.
What did Mark do for you?
What?
Not that Rodman.
When Bill was like saying how Ben Thompson is like the next great thing, and he's like, he could be the next Scotty, and I was like, dang, I thought you said he was gonna be good.
All right. Bro Incognito wants to know where's Robert Horry. Thank you. Exactly. All right. Next up, we have the topic of the week. We received three top. What's that?
My haircut?
Yeah, that looks great, actually.
That's the topic of the week. Wow, Chris, thanks.
Very sharp. We had 3 topic suggestions on this. And I'll just, as we usually do, I'll read them all together and then we'll discuss. From Green is Better Than Gold, please discuss backyard breaks. From THG Sports Cards, God bless you and Josh tonight. Expect 10,000 whatnot / backyard breaks questions. And from What Are We Doing Here? Anything but the backyard fiasco.
Well, kudos to him for thinking we'd ever get 10,000 questions on anything.
Yeah, so there's already been a lot of really thoughtful analysis on this topic. Dan the Cardman put out a really nice video about it. NEO Sports Cards put out a really nice video about it. There's a lot of good commentary about it on Twitter. I think Collect wrote a nice article sort of summarizing the facts and situating it. Barstool Sports Kansas City even chimed in, but the comments sort of pointed out some thing that Portnoy once said about a howitzer and Tom Brady's son or something. I don't know. I couldn't really quite follow all that. But I think first let's just start with a lot of people are really bothered by what Grant Telford of Backyard Breaks had to say during a totally bizarre live stream where he made some of the most thoughtless, careless, grotesque, insane comments I think you could possibly imagine being said on a sports card break. And he did it on the Whatnot platform, which is a huge platform for breaking sports cards. Some of the things he said, without repeating all of them because they're grotesque, he made comments about, the female genitalia of his hypothetical daughter, using her to support him and his future wife from an OnlyFans account. I think the phrase calcium cannons was used to describe her. He hopes she has those. I honestly didn't watch all of it because it was impossible to watch. A nice reminder of why I think a lot of us don't like to participate in certain areas of breaking culture in general. And when these clips leaked, and we don't know how many other times things like this have been said or haven't been said, but when those clips leaked, there was incredible outrage. I think it was Ben Burrows of Collect who said he had never seen an outrage like this wash over the hobby in response to one singular topic, which is saying something because the hobby has also experienced fraud on widespread scale and serious crime. And there's plenty of awful actions that have been taken. So it really says something that this was the event that sort of sparked the most outrage of any. And a few thoughts that I have based on that, and then Josh, you can jump in and give any thoughts that you have. First of all, I understand that Grant made an apology post, said that he's taking time away, said that he's seeking help. I understand that Backyard, as a company today, has issued a further statement apologizing and saying that it doesn't align with their values and saying that they have lots of employees and this is not representative of any of their employees or of their company. And just so that that's part of the record as well, that they've done that. I don't believe Whatnot as a platform has said anything or taken any action yet. I would be shocked if they didn't take action. Neo pointed out in a tweet that I saw that it is against the zero tolerance policy of Backyard. The zero tolerance policy of Whatnot, that any language involving the sexualization of a minor violates that zero tolerance policy. Now, I don't know what a zero tolerance policy means exactly. So there's been zero tolerance. Now what? Does that mean that there's a lifetime ban? Mm-hmm. Does that ban apply to the person who said it, or does it apply to the entirety of the channel that hosted the person who said it? I have no clarity surrounding that, but it's pretty clear that this is a direct violation of their zero tolerance policy. So I'd be shocked if there wasn't any action taken by Whatnot. Okay. So we sort of have sketched that backdrop, and now I don't want to repeat what other people have said, and I don't want to. I named a few videos that I thought were pretty good, and I'm sure there's other commentary out there that's pretty good too. So I'll just try to add something novel to the discussion, or a few novel points. The first point I want to add is that this speaks to brand in the sports card space. There are lots of people out there who either have kids in the hobby or who are sensitive to what kids might experience in the sports card collecting hobby. And Backyard has, whether intentionally or not as a company, it has through this event assumed the brand of not being kid friendly. That's putting it very mildly. They've assumed the brand of saying the most outrageous, edgy, risky things that you could possibly say. And any parent, any person in this hobby who decides that brand that's been now cast in stone as a result of these actions, they don't want to associate with that, and they don't want to associate with companies that associate with that. I can't find faults with that, and I think I agree with them. So that's sort of the first step here, is the freedom of association and the right to say, not in my hobby experience. So I think that's a good start, and I think it's important for platforms to consider that. And I understand, for example, that Whatnot will allow people in the age range of 13 to 17 to sign up for the platform as long as there's parental supervision. And then otherwise it's an 18 plus platform. It just makes me very uneasy thinking about even a parentally supervised 14-year-old. I'm not trying to infantilize teenagers. We know that teenagers know things, right? We know that I'm sure teenagers know more awful things than I do. Because when I was a teenager, I knew more than my parents did. But so I don't mean to infantilize, reduce them to like little people who don't know anything. But it makes me incredibly uncomfortable thinking about kids sitting there listening to that type of talk. It's not creating the environment in the sports card hobby that is becoming of what the sports card hobby strives to be. So I think that's the freedom of association angle matters here. And I think it is incumbent upon people, upon companies, upon brands to decide, and it's totally fair and justified for them to decide that they don't want to associate with this very edgy, grotesque sort of content and brand. Then the second point that I would make is that we need to sort of think about what breaking culture is as well. So I don't participate in breaks, but I'd be shocked if this is the first time that awful, heinous, off-color remarks, maybe not to the extent of the sexualization of one's own hypothetical child, but I'm pretty sure that awful things have been said on breaks many times. You sort of have to think about the environment and think about who, people are throwing money into these breaks, and they are, sometimes coming out empty-handed, and it can be a very awkward, stressful, toxic environment. From just being honest, I think a break can become a very toxic environment in certain circumstances, and I think that the environment itself also, this is an opportunity for us to evaluate it and to think about, are we enabling environments like this? And are there ways that platforms, are there ways that us as collectors, are there ways that us as a community can clean up these environments a little bit? Because I think that stuff like this happens a little more than we might want to admit. And I don't, if people want to spend their time watching the Kill Tony podcast, I enjoy the Kill Tony podcast from time to time, or people want to watch grotesque, off-color humor, that's their right. I don't want to take away people's ability to be able to do that. But by the same token, the sports card community, collectors, businesses, platforms, they also have a right to say what they stand for and what they don't stand for. And they have a right to choose who they associate with and who they don't. So I tried to take a balanced approach there. It's very hard to have a balanced approach when there's somebody who so clearly was in the wrong and somebody who so clearly said just literally about the most awful thing you can think of. There are people and sectors of this society who take things like the sexualization of children, those are capital offenses. There are certain areas where if you even made an off-color joke like that, that could lead to violence against a person. It's just that is the most taboo off-color thing I think that you can possibly bring up. And I understand why people are so upset. And I understand why there's been a very strong reaction to this and a lot of pressure put on the platforms and the companies. What do you say, Josh?
Well, very well said. I messaged you before this and I said, I think you should speak first on this, as the CEO and the person that represents our company at Card Ladder and this little team we have here. So, from Christina and Nick and I, we obviously appreciate how much thought you've put into this and everything you said. So well done. I don't really have much to add. I think you covered all of it. The only thing I thought maybe I could add is, you touched on it, but where do we decide as individuals to spend our money? And I think the easiest, best way, if this upsets you, is to, stop supporting anything like this. It doesn't have to just be backyard breaks, but stop spending your money with them, and also stop giving them your attention. One of the main things they want is attention. Even if they're not going to directly make money as the outcome of this, they're eventually going to capture a lot of attention negatively, and they probably don't mind that. So I would say maybe stop giving it so much attention as well. And the other thing is, I was thinking what do we as a hobby want to base our values in? What do we think represents the hobby? And I think there's been a lot of companies, individuals, marketing departments geared towards building up influencers / gambling / money in general, and this sort of I would say like upscale lifestyle of like this is how you can get into the hobby and make it get rich. And we're really downplaying the 50-year-old average person collector, as Paul Skeens called it. That person that he was describing, the 50-year-old collector is the hobby. That's like it's the boy or girl, the man or woman that wants to escape everything else and treat this as a hobby and enjoy their time. I just think we should be building that up, and we'll have less instances of being let down by people that have motives that don't line up with what the hobby is intended to be. So that's all I have to add.
Yeah, extremely well said. I think it's a really somber, sad topic. I really wish he hadn't done that. I think that there's going to be strong action taken about it. I think it's going to be warranted, and it's unfortunate that it happened. And the other part I want to add to it too, just kind of circling back to the brand topic for a moment. Nothing happens in a vacuum. And this series of video clips that came out from a Backyard Breaks stream, it's not the first instance of this community and people in the collecting community being extremely off-put by something that happened on one of those streams, and by the general nature and style of the break. Not everybody has to like a company. And if a company's, style is to be in your face and edgy and vulgar, they can do that over there. But the context here is that this is a chain in a series of events that led up to it. And once you add that context to it as well, just the ethos that surrounds that company and the brand that they build for themselves and the style with which they conduct themselves, it all sort of adds up to something that even outside of these comments has not resonated with a lot of people in the collecting community. It's almost amazing to me that there's this never-ending recycled personality type that just thinks they're going to finally be the one to break through by being the big, brash, braggadocious, egotistical, arrogant loudmouth. We see it happen in collecting over and over again, where it's like, this next person is going to bully their way into this space, and they're going to, be loud and obnoxious, and it has never resonated with the personalities and the type of people and the values of this community. It has never resonated. It's not going to resonate in the future. It's just not a style that people are going to appreciate. Now, by the same token, they have a fan base, obviously. They have people who like that style. Great. But understand that, this isn't the WWE. This is collecting. There's people who take this seriously. There's people who do this with their kids. There's people who do this as a pastime. And these people have been here long before, and they've established a code of conduct. And people just love to come into the hobby and completely disregard that code of conduct and act like all the people who are here weren't here, and all the things that have happened didn't happen, and we're just going to break the mold and disrupt it, and so on and so forth. And I think that's part of the context to this, is that the in-your-face style, the all-out guerrilla marketing, we're gonna, even things as silly as just like mishandling cards, or to things as severe as comments regarding the sexualization of children, and everywhere in between. It all builds up. This isn't something isolated. This is these are all tied together.
Yeah, it seems like the outrage may not just be at this one instance. It's like, all right, we've had enough with this representation of what people think the hobby might be. This is like this loudmouth breaking and gambling thing,
Right.
It's
right.
like we've all had enough time to start getting angry.
Yep. All right. Any other thoughts on that?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. It's never fun to have to address people talking about calcium cannons on a child. And I really, really, really hope that no one does that again. And even if what's that?
You just asked me what inning we're in, so we can move on.
Yeah. I don't know, how do I go to the next question here? Let's go to this question.
Make it something super light.
Yeah, here's a very light question. From Roundtree 13 cards. If my average PC pickup is between $500 and $2,000, how much should I spend on my wife for Valentine's Day?
That's a great question. Christina, cover your ears. I don't know. I think about, okay, here's a really good answer. This is going to warm all the ladies' hearts and men's hearts if the ladies want to buy something for the men. Valentine's Day should be more about the, like the gesture, like the event you do together as opposed to some gift. So I would say to this question asker, take your significant other out and, relax and hang out instead of buying them a gift.
Nice. All right, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to zag on this.
Shocker.
If your average PC pickup is between $500 and $2,000, you don't have any money left over for Valentine's Day, and the wife should understand. Okay. So this is just a math problem. It's going to be zero. And,
I tried to say zero.
Yeah.
Picnic
we're on the same page.
Something in the backyard.
Exactly. Look, you want to play 4D chess with this? The 4D chess is you buy her your next PC card. And that's the Valentine's Day gift.
And then just put it inside a Valentine's card, like a note.
Y'all are PCing together anyway, if that's your wife, so it's all going back to the same box.
Pause.
Get your wife a vacuum for Valentine's Day.
Why is that?
Oh, that's isn't that like the worst thing you can get your wife is some item to help them clean more? That's it would really piss them off.
Oh, okay. We're trying to go.
Have you seen the episode of I think it was Everybody Loves Raymond or something where he buys her a dishwasher? That whole trope.
Nice.
Dishwashers are expensive. Okay, I would probably accept one.
All right, let's go to PC with DPZ. It didn't get a chance to get to this last week. We'll get to it this week. What is your favorite set that is numbered to 100 and why?
I mean, it's got to be the TMG, right? Does that count or does that not count?
That is definitely the low-hanging fruit here.
Those are technically numbered to, all of them are numbered to 100.
That's right.
That's kind of cheating though, because they're 90 and 10.
Right. Can I suggest Platinum Medallion?
Yeah, I don't like Playmakers Theater, so let's go with Platinum Medallion. Okay,
Playmakers Theater was another option. Yeah, the first year of Platinum Medallion is 97.98. That's numbered to 100. I don't know. There's not tons of answers that we can give here.
Maybe like a Legacy collection?
Slam Bams.
Slam Bams is good.
Yep. The second year of Legacy collections out of 100. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would certainly look at something in the 90s for number 200. And something number 200 in this era is not going to cut it.
Star Quest Gold, you like that one?
Yeah, Star Quest Gold is an amazing choice. Yeah.
There's some hand-numbered autograph MJ 90s cards numbered to 100 that I like.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's not so many base set parallels numbered to 100, more inserts.
Yeah.
All right. Next up from Tiger Jordan 311 on the other side, your favorite basketball card with a card letter value of less than $100.
Oh.
Less than $100.
Oh, yeah. A card letter? Like, it's on...
Yeah.
It's got to be a letter
just like the current value.
Oh. Well, I'm going to use card letter to help me here. Max value, 100. Oh, man. So I'm just trying to think of a cheap card. I mean, I could just go through my Todd Gurley collection. They're all under 100. I love all those cards.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to cheat as well.
Yeah,
how about this Scoot Henderson? This Scoot Optic Blue out of 49 that we pulled like a year ago.
Do you like watching Scoot?
No.
He's playing pretty bad still, right?
I think it's improved on last year, but I think
he was like the lowest rated player in the NBA last year.
Yeah. He couldn't get worse. I think Bill and Russillo are hyping him up a bit, though.
Yeah, that's not good.
All right. How about this one from Splendid Sports? Time for some Mahomes hobby hate.
Hate?
Yeah, hobby hate. Are you ready for some Mahomes hate?
I wanted the Bills to win. I'm sick of those guys winning every time.
All right, let's go.
I'm here for the history.
Will he end up Tim Duncanized in the hobby? So far, his most famous play is a falling down incomplete pass in the Super Bowl that he lost to Tom Brady. He plays in a mid-level media and hobby market. He doesn't have a Jordan flu game or a Brady tuck rule or a 28-3 comeback game. That could obviously change, but let's say the next half of his career stays on the same path. He ends up with 6 or 7 rings, but no legendary memorable moments that matter so much in this hobby. Thank you for reading this biased Tom Brady collector's message.
So I pulled up card ladder. Tim Duncan has 116 sales of more than $10,000. Any guesses on Mahomes?
How many over 10,000?
Duncan has 116.
And Duncan has more years to have racked those sales up as well.
But his rookie cards aren't as good. His rookie cards are not as expensive. Well, no, he's got some pretty expensive rookie cards.
Yeah, not nearly as many.
Yeah.
I would have to say that Mahomes probably has 1,500.
You're close. Yeah, 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
Yeah. And Duncan's most expensive are the Green PMG and the 98.99 Gem Master. And Mahomes has obviously the Shield Auto, which sold for $4.3 million. Many, many, many sales of his RPA variations and golds and out of 5s and out of 10s and his gold vinyl and his gold prism and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Mahomes' prices earlier today. Like 7th year gold vinyl PSA 10s are like $20,000.
Yeah.
Cards numbered to 5.
Yeah. And so the argument is basically he doesn't have that like one moment, but Brady's 28-3 was like towards the end of it, much further into his career, and he could still have that moment. His thing is that he's like always been losing in these Super Bowls, and he's always having these comebacks. He's sort of having easier wins in the AFC championships, but the Super Bowls he's always having tough games, and he's pulling them out. So
true. Look, I'll say this. I think that there's a case that Mahomes is only half of the way to catching Tom Brady. From the point of view of 7 championships versus 3, from the point of view of 10 Super Bowl appearances versus 4, from the point of view of cumulative statistical accumulation, like Brady has the most yards, the most touchdowns, the most everything. Brady has like 35 wins in the playoffs. Mahomes has 17. When you kind of look at aggregate numbers, it really does seem like Mahomes is about halfway there to Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I have a slightly different take. I think he's a bit closer than halfway. So my metric, obviously, is the total MVP approach. Tom Brady has 8 total MVPs, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, and 3 regular season MVPs. Nobody has 7. Peyton Manning has 6, and then you have a 3-way tie at 5 between Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Joe Montana. So I think if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, and he needs to get Super Bowl MVP, because I don't really feel like crediting quarterbacks for the accomplishment of a Super Bowl if they weren't the best player on their team. You're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the best player on the team. So as long as he gets the Super Bowl MVP, that'll put him at 6. And that'll tie him with Peyton. And my tiebreaker is whoever did it most recently wins the tiebreaker. So that would put him narrowly as the second greatest NFL player of all time. And then I think if he gets to 6, I think he's just 2 MVPs away from tying Brady and 3 away from passing him. That's where I've got him right now. Where do you have Mahomes right now all time?
And quarterback rankings?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in like the Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Manning, Montana group there, those 5.
Yeah.
Not just based on what you said, but what I've seen in stats and cumulative and everything. And Mahomes is only 29. He's still not even 30. He doesn't turn 30 until September. So, and Brady played until he was 45. So, I mean, he's got, even if he is only halfway, even if you see it on that point, he's 8 years into a potentially 20-year, he's less than halfway time-wise. I think he'll be fine. And he'll age pretty well, like he doesn't rely on, ankle breaking speed and running around. He kind of just makes do with what he can running already. And Rodgers, as much as people want to make fun of him this year, he played until he was 41, and he's playing he had a decent season after a torn Achilles, and he's 41. So, like, these guys can play till they're 40 now.
Yeah.
And Rodgers won an MVP at, 37 and 38, or whatever he was when he won the 2 MVPs?
Yeah.
Here's the chart for Mahomes. It's a pretty interesting index chart. Can you see it?
Yeah.
A lot of these
your camera, you should turn your camera the other way.
Okay. A lot of these guys graphs do this big jump in 2020, 2021, and then they come crashing back down. But the guys who are actually like the legit elite guys, their graphs look more like this. They don't come down nearly as much in this range, and they kind of are coming back up. So this is like your Mahomes, Brady's, LeBrons, Jordans, and stuff. These guys are kind of doing this looking thing. So his chart looks like, to me, someone that people believe in.
Yeah, I mean, his index is up 40 or 42% over the last year.
Right. Let me pull up Duncan really quick. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's kind of more like the others, other elite players, but not quite as good.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tim Duncan comparison, like Tim Duncan is just like he's used, he's like, like in an argument, if somebody just really needs to convey that somebody's bad, they'll be like, they'll compare it to Hitler. Tim Duncan is like the metaphor that we go to in the hobby if you just really want to be like, yeah, he might be great, but, nobody likes him.
Yeah, he's boring. San Antonio is so boring.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan does have 6-figure cards, including his PMG green. Anytime a player has a 6-figure card that has 10 copies, it would be tough to convince me that they don't have hobby love.
Dude, Dennis Rodman has $200,000 cards. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Duncan's way better.
Dennis Rodman has multiple 6-figure cards.
Duncan is way better than Dennis Rodman.
I'm keeping an eye on this 97 Credentials Now Iverson PSA 5, which is numbered to 3.
Yep.
It's in extended bidding right now. It's currently $366,000.
Jeez, and the $366,000. You just broke my brain. Hold on a second. Yeah. I just I was like moving past because I thought you were going to say 200. 366?
Yeah.
That's on Heritage?
Yes, it is.
And you saw the Kobe, right?
I did not.
There's a Kobe on Golden. I think the Kobe's are numbered to 8, and it was at 300 last I checked. Whoa!
Yeah.
Dude, those credentials cards, holy smokes!
Yeah, the Kobe is exactly right. It's out of 8. Amazing story about a day like 15 years ago when somebody sold 3 of them on eBay all at once for like $1,000 each.
The Penny Hardaway's out of 4. I've only seen 1. Never really got a shot at getting one. Those are cool.
Yeah. Was that ever a grail to you as compared to the PMG Green?
No. I mean, always I'd prefer the PMG Green.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so on October 7th, 2007, 6 of the 8 copies of the Kobe credentials now out of 8 sold. Serial numbers 1 of 8, 2 of 8, 3 of 8, 5 of 8, 6 of 8, and 7 of 8. And they all sold for I remember when we first launched Card Ladder and I was looking into this card, and we added it to the ladder, obviously. And I remember finding these sales. Yeah, they all sold for around $300.
What?
Yep.
In 2007?
In 2007.
That's like, man, what were we doing with our lives? We were just like I was in college just wasting my time away. I could have been buying sports cards.
Yeah, I mean, that card is what, maybe at like 350 with BP right now?
What's the multiplier on that? 300 divided by 8?
Yeah, right.
$300. Or you said 6 of them?
6 of them, yeah.
$50 a piece. $50 times 300,000. It's going to go more, right? If the Iverson's doing that jump late, I mean, I would imagine the Kobe's going to be more than the Iverson.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
I can see that Kobe be $1 million card. The issue that Kobe has, though, is that it is discolored.
Yeah, I thought that was the scan, but you might be right.
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. God, the time just flies. Okay, let's get to some more questions.
We're having so much fun.
Yeah. Okay. From the Cardfather 13. If the Prism Black Finite 1 of 1 rookie card is the birth certificate, then which card is a player's passport?
Passport? What's the thing?
Where's the passport rank? Where's the passport rank relative to the birth certificate?
In terms of personal documentation? Yeah. I don't know. It's like I'd probably rather have my social security card. Maybe I'd probably like a birth certificate, social security card, then driver's license, then passport. So like 4th.
Yeah, I would put passport above driver's license and social security card because you need both of those in order to get a passport, and you need a birth certificate in order to get a passport.
Yeah.
So like, I think your passport would be like your best card, not your rookie card, but your passport would be like your best card.
I don't know that I agree with that.
So it's like,
because you can get another passport. Like if your passport runs out, like you can go
renew it. You don't get a new one.
Yeah.
And if they take it away from you, like you can't get back in the country. Or if you lose it, like you have to go to the embassy and like apply for emergency extraction or whatever, like emergency help.
Okay, so maybe the passport is the PMG Green. There's 10 copies. You can get another one if you need to.
That's good.
Okay, and then Doug J. Card said, okay, and then what is their fake ID?
Fake ID?
Wait, could we back up for a second? So if the passport is the PMG Green, what would we say would be like the social security card? Would that be your best card? Like, I'm just trying to qualify these things.
No, I think your birth certificate is your best card because everything else flows from it.
But it has to be a rookie card.
You need it.
But it needs to be a rookie
Yeah, it needs to be a
card.
rookie.
It needs to be your best rookie card. But
Dude, I just got my passport for the first time in my human adult life like a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
No, you don't.
So I was thinking, someone in the chat said Black Shimmer. I kind of like that one.
Black Shimmer. Nice. All right. Fake ID. Fake ID is just an invitation to really shit on a card.
Rip City Collection says your fake ID is your printing plate 101.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. Yeah. That's really good.
I like what Perimeter said too. Your fake ID is your unnumbered backdoor insert.
Yeah. That's good too. Those are both good. Because the temptation is just say like your fake one, but it's better to take a shot at a real card.
How about this one from Nick's Basketball PC? What is the best looking year of the finest gold X-Fractor parallel? Ooh. And why is it 2003?
It's 2000. Well, because that's a 1-of-1. That's why he's saying that. 2005 is my favorite.
Yeah, I have no opinion on that.
Let me show you a quick X-Fractor gold 2005 real quick. Just to get your...
Just to wet my...
Gold? Just to, yeah, I didn't know what to say that didn't sound stupid, so... That's what we ended up with, folks.
It definitely did not fit that bill.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just love that card.
Yeah. Yep. That's sweet. That is very sweet. Okay, from Braun Reeves PC, would you trade all of your cards of your PC player in order to spend the day with them?
Oh my God, I would do. What's the opposite of this answer?
Is it either this is a troll question?
Got one.
Or Braun Reeves has not been listening for a while. Yes.
To meet them?
The opposite would be if you could own stop.
Just like listening to her brain. What we go through this is so good.
Okay, stop. I can't look at you guys. Would you kill your PC player if you could have their best cards?
Oh, isn't that a win-win? Because doesn't the value go up?
But you might get caught. Like there's like a 80% chance that you will get caught and spend your life in jail.
Or would you rebuy your entire collection to not have to meet your favorite player?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, so to Christina's question of would you literally throw away your entire life and spend the rest of your days in prison, possibly doing labor, definitely being abused and beaten up from time to time, and just like a totally miserable, awful life in exchange to have the best card of your PC player? Obviously, yes.
No, I said you have a 20% chance of getting away with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna zag, obviously, and say no. Dude, are we really gonna go this whole show without talking about how Paul Skeens is just throwing strays at 50-year-old collectors?
Oh, can we pivot to that, please?
I don't even care if we didn't get a question. I just couldn't believe the stray. It's like, dude, those are the guys that go to your game and support you with season tickets. Get out of here, bro. The kids don't pay for season tickets. Their parents do.
Well, you're totally right. I think Paul Skeens was saying that because he didn't want some 50-year-old. He didn't want to have to meet the 50-year-old, right? I think that's where that comes from.
Paul Skeens is off his skis.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Skeens is 22.
True.
And not the dumbest thing said by a 20-something this week.
No, second place.
Second place. And I think he was just trying to be funny. And he directly insulted the host, who is 51. So, I mean, it just blew up right in his face.
And he's a big collector.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. So he was mocking Seth Meyers. Like, yeah.
He was just trying to say the right thing. You know? Yeah. He doesn't know what to say.
Yeah. All those guys are like, yeah, kids are great. I love when the kids go to the games. I support them. Yay.
Yeah. All right.
Skeens is off. Does that even make sense?
It does make sense. and then you have the skis thing going on.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to force the title tonight. What did I message you? I stand with the 50-year-old collector.
Yeah.
With the handshake emoji.
Yeah, it's good. That's really good.
He thought he would just like get a laugh. No, I know what he's doing. He's throwing strays. I know what he's doing.
Yeah, he did. We saw.
So if you got to take the one-on-one rookie with you into jail, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I hope
or
so.
Just like the moment of holding it as the cops are arresting you.
Even that would be enough.
They're shoving your head into the back of the car. And you're like, ah.
Oh, the Iverson is now at $439,000.
Undervalued.
Yeah, I rambled way too long on that opening question.
No, it was good.
Yeah, we gave Publius way too.
Yeah, Publius deserves that kind of time.
All right.
Your mail day.
I have 4 options. 1, falsely inflate our viewership.
What was that? Well, I missed that.
That was me saying that we were going to have you leave and join a few times to send multiple notifications to falsely inflate our viewership.
I believe I said it, but that's fine. You can take credit for it.
Well, we'll see. Somebody will rewind and see if it was you or me.
I wasn't here, so let's see. Who do I want to go with? Ah, Chris.
Yeah, I think.
Just remember, Josh.
Now here comes the threat.
You have a task for me to do after this show.
I prefer my threats to be when I can make visual confirmations.
How about this? Is that a visual confirmation for you?
One finger. Now it's one finger. I did see that. I can see now.
Next topic, title possibility. Hopefully nothing has happened in the hobby.
Yeah, slow week.
Next, the third is the key to my heart. Not for this one, I don't think.
That was I can't remember.
Oh, look at this. Farm Wax says never got a notification. Never was at the top of my Insta. I had to search you guys to see the live, and it was weird. And Lauren says same.
Dang. Dude, Zuck is like, he thinks he's cool now, and he can just like say all this stuff on Rogan, but then he can't make his product better. So is he that cool?
Yeah, I think he's. I think he's stealing our content, and he doesn't want anybody to see that we had it first.
Yeah. You know how everyone's angry about like how people are going to forget about this in a few days and they'll just move on? We should go back and rehash every one of those past ones and just bring them all back up.
Just like a Festivus.
Yeah.
Just an airing of the grievances.
Like someone brought up Kurt's Card Care. Whatever happened to that guy? I have no idea.
Oh, I mean, God, the list of them is astonishing.
All the scandals. Like we just had a whole 3-hour episode dedicated to scandal revisits. Where are they now? VH1.
I thought you were about to say VHS tape investing.
No, remember VH1? They would do like behind the music. You know, they'd like go through the rock stars that became drug addicts and tell us what happened. We just got to revisit them.
We do. There's a lot of them to revisit. Okay. And then the other one, Paul Skeens is off his skis. You feel strongly about any of them? I think I would just go with hopefully nothing's happened in the hobby.
Yeah, that's the winner.
And my apologies to the people who submitted questions and we didn't get to them this week. Sucks to suck.
Well,
That's
next week we'll get passive-aggressive comments about how we don't answer their questions.
Yes. Yes.
Dennis, I see you.
All right.
Wow, the Spurs won by like 100 points.
Change the title to "Sorry we couldn't get to your questions"?
That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I like that. All right, and we will not see you guys next week.
Oh, wish me luck. I'm running a full marathon a week from tomorrow.
Which means 26.2 miles?
Yes. So I'm attempting to do it in 3 hours and 25 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about 7 minutes and 45 seconds per mile.
Wow. I'd be happy to run 1 mile at that speed.
It's going to be painful, but it's going to be good.
Best of luck. Break a leg?
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not, though.
I think that's reserved for theater. Yeah. This one's probably say like have a heart attack or something.
Let's not say that.
Slip on a cup of water that somebody discarded into the main path?
And just shred up my arms and legs and scabs.
Hope your nipples just bleed to death.
Have you seen the Office episode where Andy runs and he does that? He's like, it's happening.
Dude, that's one of my like creep out skin crawl things.
That definitely happens after X amount of miles. You gotta, Vaseline is the trick.
Trick to many things. All right. We'll see you guys not next week, but the week after. Maybe. But definitely not next week.
See ya.
ZY Card Ladder is the most respected sports card analytics app on the market. We have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history. Easily find recent comps and get a better estimate what your cards are worth. ZY Card Ladder is the most trusted and the most reliable sports card analytics app on the market. We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder, constantly innovating. Try it for free. ZY Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data. Card Ladder, we're just getting started.